Hey everyone, Matt here from Dukes Models, and welcome to part 5 of the Kinetic Hornet build review. This time out, we'll be playing with the control surfaces. So starting out, we're going to add the slat to the folded wing here. Now the fit of the slats is fantastic. There's really nothing to get in the way. Just a little bit of glue is all you need to hold them in place. And on the other side, you can see again, they line up nicely. A little bit of glue. All there is to it. Not bad. Now it's time to add all the various flap and aileron actuators. I decided for this build to go ahead and do one side extended and one side raised, just for kicks. Whichever path you decide to take, if you decide to build this kit, pay a lot of attention to the instructions and don't trust them at all, because they make some confusing number designations and things like that. So once you figure out which ones are which, it's pretty straightforward, but they're not really all that well documented in the instructions. So there we've got all those arms in place. Now it's time to add the flaps. And the flaps just seat right onto these things. Nice and easy. A little bit of Tamiya extra thin. Don't even need to hold it that long. These things cure up nice and fast. Same thing with the ailerons. Just because of the way these go on, I would highly recommend that they be installed during the build, not after painting. Various solvent glues will give you a much better grip. As you can see, the extended flaps are also very easy to install. You really, you can't get these wrong with the location holes. It's a guaranteed. Here's where it's going to go. Done. And one thing I ran into with the folded wing was I didn't cant the wing in far enough, and so I ran into these fun interference issues with the lower wing, with the main wing. And I also found that I had to cut down the locating tab a little bit on that sort of inner actuator. But once that's done, this thing glues in easy enough. It's really more the aileron cover that proves difficult later on. This is an area where I wish that Kinetic had maybe, if nothing else, given a bit more detail in the instructions and how these things are supposed to fit, because on the raised side, they go down no problem. On this extended side, not really as much. As you can see on the raised side, these things fit pretty nicely. Kind of bounce around and stick to the fingers a bit, so that's no fun. But once you get them in place, they're great. It helps if you tip the aircraft forward a little bit and let gravity assist. There we go. Glue that fucker down. Not so bad. On this side, I ended up just jamming this thing up into the wing. I know that's really not maybe not the way it needs to go, but On a full build, I would highly recommend doing research to better understand the position of these things. We go with the aileron covers. This one fits pretty nicely. This one is where we ran into problems with the extended wing, or with the folded wing not really being in the right position. Met some interference there with the main wing. Again, cant it out another 2 or 3 degrees, it'd be fine. And to wrap things up, I decided to go ahead and install the burner cans at this point. And they fit quite well. Between the fit and the detail, I would be very hesitant to recommend replacing these with resin, knowing resin's penchant to not always fit all the time. And with that, we've got the control surfaces and the exhaust cans pretty much sorted, so it's time to move on to the landing gear.